Hello, brothers and sisters in arms. Let's look for money-making opportunities in the market for next week. But firstly, we have so many fundamentals lined up for next week. So much volatility should be expected. And as we already know, money-making opportunities lies within these volatilities. Now, let's dive into it. But before we do, please give me 5 seconds of your precious time. Pause this video and reward me by clicking that subscribe button, like and share this video. Thank you, and thank you. Now let's jump right back into it. Firstly, for Monday, we have the CPI news event for CHF, which is the Swiss franc, right? So of course, on the CHF pairs, you should expect a very high volatility. Then on Tuesday, we have the cash rate for Australian dollar. So many red news on the Australian dollar. Then on the US dollar, the federal chairman, which is Powell, have a speech. Then of course we should be expecting high volatility. Then down to Wednesday, we have high volatility news events on the USD and the Canadian dollar. Then Thursday will be pretty much kind of quiet with medium volatility expected. Then on Friday, that is where the big boys will come out and play, which is we'll be having the non-farm payroll, the unemployment rate, and all of those good stuff. So the bulk of next week's move is expected to happen on Friday. Now that we've looked at the fundamentals we have for next week, let's quickly jump right into the analysis. Now it's obvious the US dollar closed bullish for last month, so at some point I'll be expecting a bullish continuation. So everything you see the dollar doing right now in the market are mere retracements, mere pullbacks. All right, like I said, I think I dropped a YouTube short within the week. I'll leave the link to that YouTube short in the description below. So I talked about if you are confused about what's happening in the market, just come to the monthly time frame. Look at these engulfing candles. Some are buys, some are sells, depending on which side of the pair the USD belongs, right? Now, on the dollar index, we have a bullish engulfing candle, which signifies a strong dollar, right? And I'll still be expecting this month to close bullish, right? So which means all these reversals, all these negative USD you see now are just temporal. At some point, which I'll be expecting next week, maybe during the non-farm payroll, I'll be expecting to see a strong dollar. Right now, let's go to the weekly time frame. Let's see how we closed for last week. Last week we closed with a red candle, so that signifies a bearish candle, because on my own chart the green represents bullish price action and the red represents bearish price action. So for last week we closed bearish, so I'll be expecting price to keep pushing lower next week, probably into this zone, before we see a push to the upside. Because as you can see, from this zone to this zone, price was super bullish, right, without any red candle. So this was the first red candle we got after 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks of price action, which was last month, right? So like I always say, price cannot keep going in a straight line. At some point it has to stop, catch its breath before it continues on its path to its target. If you look at between this zone and this zone, you can see these big bullish candlesticks, right? This bearish candlestick which happened last week, you can see how small it is. So I'll be expecting next week for price to still push lower for a bit before we go bullish. Now let's come to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, you can see that in fact throughout last week we actually consolidated, which means we moved sideways. We have 5 trading days in a week, right? So which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically we just moved sideways. We didn't go up, we didn't come down. Last week was for scalpers. So I'll still be expecting price to push down. I'll be probably expecting price to come back into this zone, but I don't know, that may be a big ask. So let's use a Fibonacci. Let me see, from the recent swing low to the recent swing high. So I think I'll be expecting price to come to this maybe 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level before we see bullish price action for next week, maybe around this box here. Let's see if price is going to come into this box before we get our next push to the upside here. Remember, price is, as we can see, price is creating new highs and new lows, right? Higher lows. This is a new higher high, right? And now I'll be expecting a new higher low here before creating a new higher high to the upside. So on the 4-hour time frame, For us to go short for next week, which I won't be a party to, I'll actually be waiting for that bullish push on the dollar index, right? So I'm not interested in the bearish price action. But for those who might want to scalp this, I think you should wait for price to take out this zone right here. Let me even refine this so that let's just capture the body of this candle here. There's no specific way to draw this, so but just make sure you capture as many touches as possible. In my own case, I've captured here, 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 right? So if price breaks below here, I'll be waiting for a retest, then for price to push lower, right, into that our daily zone that I plotted on the previous slide here. I think around here, right? So I'll be expecting price to come into that zone. So if this happens, then you should be looking for short sells, all right? But make sure you trail your stop loss, all right? Make sure you trail it so that the market won't turn back and just surprise you from nowhere, all right? But for me, I'm not interested in the short sells. I'll actually be waiting for price to pull back into the zone I'm expecting, and then I'll be waiting for bullish price action. Then I'll go to the USD pairs to start looking for trading opportunities. So now that we've looked at the dollar index, let's go to the USD. Let's go to the USD pairs, starting with the Euro USD. Once again, if you've not subscribed, just give me 5 seconds of your time. Just pause this video, please, and please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. All right. Thank you as you do so. Now, on the Euro USD, just like the other USD pairs, we closed last month with a bearish engulfing candle. So if you've been following this channel, I believe you are conversant with me talking about this particular monthly chart here. We broke out of this neckline, created a new lower low, went back and closed the month with a bearish engulfing candle at an interesting zone for that matter, which is the retest of this trend line and the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level and this resistance level. So no matter what USD, if USD likes, let it pick the, permit me to say, struggling traders, shake them out of the market. But what I'll be expecting is for price to just play around for a bit, then give me that opportunity that it wants to collapse. Then that is when I'm going to hit and hold, right? So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So if euro dollar likes, let it rise into this box, I still don't care. All I'm waiting for is just one daily or maybe one weekly candlestick to close, maybe with a doji or something, whatever candlesticks that we look for. Those on the professional course and the mentorship class understands what I'm trying to talk about here. So let's go to the weekly time frame. Let's see how we closed for last week. You know, like I said, I think in last week's video, was the last 2 weeks video, I said we broke up out of this trend line, and I'm going to leave that trend line so that when price comes back into that trend line and start seeing rejection, I can use it as my take profit area, right? But for now, we are not there yet. And if you look at this immediate previous support now turned into resistance, as you can see, I've captured 1, 2 touches, right? And now price has broken below that zone again. We broke above previously, now we came back below, and looks like we are going for a retest, right? So I'll still be expecting price to push up for a bit within this zone before we collapse. Let's go to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, just like I highlighted on the Telegram channel yesterday, we are seeing typical bearish market structure move happening here, at least on the daily time frame. You see, we created a low, a lower high, a lower low, taking out this area, then a lower high, right? So even if we push up for a bit and come back into this zone, it is still a lower high, right? Except we come back and break above this zone. That at that point we've created a new higher high, right? But for now, even if we come back into this zone with a daily candlestick, I'll still be expecting a rejection. And when that happens, this will be our first take profit target. But however, I'll be expecting price to actually create a new lower low, right? Typical market structure. And why am I using that trend line as my next level target is because price has rejected this trend line twice historically. So I expect price to come back into that zone if we are to create a new lower low, right? And I'll be taking part of my profits at this zone. That is if I catch that trade, or if I catch the trade earlier, right? And then if we break below it, then we are definitely coming all the way down to the bottom here, and that's some massive move. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame. So there's a minor support or there's a minor resistance level here that price has tested multiple times historically, and we came back into that zone. We saw a massive rejection, and price is pushing back into that zone, respecting this trend line. Let me even go to the 1-hour time frame so that we can get a clearer picture. So we are still respecting this trend line. Price came there, bounced off, price came there, bounced off, came back again and bounced off. So I'm not interested in this push, this upward push. All right. So first of all, what I want to see price come into this zone that has been tested multiple times before. I want to see price come there and give us some kind of a rejection. If that doesn't happen, then I'll go back to the higher time frame and I'll be watching that daily resistance area. Why is this thing not loading? Okay, I'll be watching this daily resistance area for trading opportunity. All right, so that's what I'll be looking at. But like I said, I am not interested in the buy, right? I'm not interested in the buy. So now if we come into this zone and I see selling pressure, of course I'm going to jump into that trade. Or if we open for next week and price keeps pushing lower, I'll wait for a break of this trend line to sell. All right, I'll wait for a break of this trend line to sell all the way to the downside. Sorry about my arrow, guys. I'll wait to sell all the way to the downside. So if that happens, that means we now have a head and shoulders pattern form around this zone here, right? But right now it's not a head and shoulder. It just only looks like it's forming a head and shoulder, but you don't predict the market, right? You allow the market do its thing, then you act accordingly. Well, I think I'm spending too much time. Let me go a little bit faster. Then let's come to the gold. On gold, we also ended last month with something like a bearish engulfing candle, but for the beginning of this month, we are seeing some bullish price action. Let's go to the weekly time frame. We closed last week with a massive bullish engulfing candle. Do I expect this bullish momentum to continue? Actually, at this moment, no. I'll be expecting price to stall within this region here, and I'll be looking for selling opportunities to push price to the downside. But remember, anything can happen. That's why we always wait for reactions, confirmations before we take action, right? So we can possibly break above here. Maybe at that point, you start looking for something else. But right now, I'm looking at trading opportunities within this area. First of all, to be a successful trader, you need to know exactly what you are expecting from the market, know exactly what you are looking for, and act accordingly. All right, now we are down to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, like I said, from the weekly time frame, I'm expecting a reaction within this zone here to push price all the way to the downside. Why is my arrow acting up? So all the way to the downside here. All right, so this is what I'm looking at for gold. And like I said, remember we have a lot of fundamental news next week. But remember we have NFP, the godfather of them all. I'll be expecting NFP to actually push price lower. That is what I'm expecting for now. All right, I'm not saying it in all certainty, but that is what I would like to see for now. Then if we streamline to the 1 hour time frame, I think there's no much trading opportunities. I'll be dropping updates on the Telegram group as price progresses, or as we progress within the week. Then NZD USD. Let's start from the monthly time frame. Like the other USD pairs, you can see we closed last month with a massive bearish engulfing candle, taking out over 2 months of price action. So whatever NZD like, let it do. The likes should try to push all the way up to deceive struggling traders. I don't care. All I'm waiting for is selling opportunities to push price downward, because everything on this monthly time frame indicates bearish, right? So let's go to the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, we closed last week with a bullish candle. So like the other pairs, I'll be expecting price to push upward for a bit before we start seeing rejections to push price to the downside. Let's go to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, we closed on Friday with a doji candle, which signifies indecision at this mini support level, right? So now let's go to the 4 hour time frame. For those that may want to scalp this, we have a mini support level around here. From the daily time frame, we closed a doji on that level, so we'll be expecting price to keep pushing higher temporarily. let's go to the 1 hour time frame. Let's get a clearer view. So if you want to jump on this trade, let's say you want to scalp it, I would advise you wait for a break above this trend line to push price all the way into this zone. But like I said, I am not interested in this move. I am actually more interested in this move, right? I like the big moves. Okay, why is my arrow doing like this? All right, so I'm not interested in the bullish move. I'm only expecting a bearish move, right? So, and if we break above below this support level, let me go back to the 4 hour time frame. I'll actually be expecting price to, if price breaks below here, let's say next week we didn't get a break above this trend line, and let's say price keeps pushing lower, if we break below this support, I'll look for a retest, then I'll sell all the way to the downside, because after all, that is what I'm expecting. Normally I should have stopped this analysis here, but there's something interesting on JPY that I want you guys to see. Then after looking at the JPY index, I'll quickly go to the USD JPY. There's something interesting happening there. Last 2 months we've seen bearish price action, right? This is the monthly time frame on the JPY index. Let's go to the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, let me just delete this, or let me limit this to just the hourly. All right, so last week we closed with some kind of unconvincing bearish candlestick, right? So which indicates weakness. So let's come to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, remember I sent out a chart on the Telegram group where I expected price was around here. Then I said price will break below, retest, come down to this zone, and probably go back into this zone again before we collapse all the way to the downside. And now price is exactly at this zone, and we're beginning to see a bullish push to the upside. However, we don't just expect price to push all the way to the upside. We still need to think in probabilities as traders, right? Now we saw some kind of unconvincing candlestick on the weekly time frame, right? So now let's go back to the 4 hour time frame. On the 4 hour time frame, price is reacting to that zone that we anticipated, and now we are seeing that bullish move, and that bullish move has broken above this trend line, this 4 hour trend line, and it looks like we've retested it with this red candle, and now there's another bullish 4 hour candle close there. So if price is committed to coming into this zone, first of all, I would like to see price take out this line. Why did I map out this zone? Is because, let me even put a box there. Let me make it a zone instead of just a thin line. Let me make it a zone. Let me capture. So you see I've captured here, 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 and here, right? So for this move to actually come to this zone, we have to take out this zone here. So if we take out this zone, then of course, without any doubt, I expect price to come into this level here. But like I said, two things can happen. We can come into this zone and start seeing rejections to the downside. In this case, we'll wait for a break below this trend line for conservative entry. But if you want aggressive entry, you can look for some kind of a candlestick pattern or chart pattern from this zone to push price all the way to this downside. Now that we've seen what is happening on the JPY index, let's quickly look at USD JPY. This will be our last setup for this week's video. The other setups I'm not going to be talking about in this video, I will be dropping in the group, which is the Telegram group. So if you are not on that Telegram channel, do yourself a favor. The link is going to be in the description below. Join that Telegram group so that we keep in touch from time to time. Now on the monthly time frame, we had an inverse head and shoulder, and we broke above the neckline, and price has moved upwards significantly. I mean, we had some couple of months, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 above here, and then price came back into that neckline, and we are beginning to see a rejection. In fact, we had a bullish engulfing candlestick close for last month. On the weekly time frame, we closed with a small weekly red candlestick, right? So it looks like price is coming back to retest this zone, right? But that is a big move to the downside. I doubt if we are going to see that, but it is a possibility. Let's go to the daily time frame. Now on the daily time frame, I made sure I captured this zone, this zone, this zone, and this area, right? And price broke above this area, pushed upward, came back into this zone, and for the best part of last week, we traded sideways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trading days of last week, we actually moved sideways. But on Friday, we saw a bearish engulfing candle, which makes it look like price is actually ready to come and retest this area here, right? Now let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Now this is that area from the daily time frame, and I'll be expecting a reversal from this zone. Why? If I zoom out properly, you'll see that we've rejected this trend line once, twice historically. So I'll be expecting price to come and give us a third touch, or come into this support area here to give us some entry opportunities to keep pushing price bullish. Remember, last week closed with a bullish engulfing candle. So on the lower time frames, what should you be looking for? You should be looking for bullish trading opportunities, and this is a good zone for me to buy, right? So with this, we've come to the end of today's video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also like and share this video so that I'll be motivated to keep dropping this type of videos. And if you don't know how to do these things, or if you want to learn how to trade, if you want to master the art of trading, do yourself a favor by taking any of our programs on the Forex Academy, and I promise you it's a guarantee that it's going to definitely change your trading career for life, and you'll be able to analyze the market with ease, and you are also going to be able to master how to execute your entries, your stops, and your targets. Once again, thanks for staying to the end of this very lengthy video. You guys are the best. I wish you a successful trading week. Bye guys.